Hello and welcome to the Patreon exclusive edition of Black, White, and Red All Over. I'm Victor Dandridge.
Ryan Seymour.
And we are about to spoil Criminal, number one. Criminal is a series that it's got some history.
Yes.
There's a portion in the back of the book that actually talks about it. Yep. And what I love is that expertly they recognize that there are some people that are just finding this book like for the first time, this series for the first time. And some people are coming off of Kill or Be Killed.
Yes.
Same creative team, so it's Ed Brubaker, Sean Phillips, and they are recognizing that, hey, we have new fans that don't know about this series. Yeah. I have to admit, I was one of those guys. Oh. I didn't read Criminal.
Oh, see, it's such good stuff, because there's also like Incognito, which I really hope goes back into print at some point. But yeah, it's so hardcore, it's so raw. Where Kill or Be Killed had that kind of like supernatural thing going on with it. This is
crime.
Yeah.
This is people.
Yeah.
But like, okay, in terms of like them working together, we've got Sleeper.
Yes.
Femme Fatale, right? Criminal, Kill or Be Killed. Yeah. And now Criminal again.
Yeah. There's one I'm missing. There's the Fade Out.
Yeah. That's right.
Yeah. So they've got a ginormous body.
Yes,
of
they
work
do.
That is all excellent across the board.
And their ability to work together speaks volumes in terms of, how they communicate, the things that they intrinsically know how to do as storytellers. Yeah. I'm sure at this point, the level of trust, it's not even like a script. There's probably like a phone call that's like, remember that thing we said we were going to do? Do that. And then you get this. Let's dive in, man.
Yes.
So this is, okay, art-wise, again, Phillips is great. Colors by Jacob Phillips. I don't know if they're related or not. They should be.
Yeah.
Because the way that Jacob's colors speak to the line work, like, that's beautiful. That is magic. Story takes place in March of 1988.
Yep.
Quick question. How old were you in 1988?
13.
Okay. All right.
So I was born in 75.
So
at least that's what the paperwork said. So.
You and your conspiracies. In March of 1988, I was 5 years old.
Oh, that's fantastic.
I was a baby. So I definitely couldn't do what this kid's doing.
Yes, I was breaking through my first window.
So yeah, this kid is climbing into this house. Looks to be old.
Yeah, looks like it would have been worth a lot at some point, but it's kind of fallen into disrepair.
Yeah. The stuff inside is covered up, very, antiqualized, and kind of, this kid's sneaking in, looking for something, and doesn't realize that someone's in the house.
Yeah.
And the one that's in there is this old man.
Yeah.
And he immediately speaks a name.
Yes.
And
the kid responds to it, and we'll get back to that a little bit later.
So important. The kid is looking around for stuff and is like, hey, I thought you were out of town. And Grandpa was like, oh yeah, no, I don't travel much. You know, this hip of mine. And he's like, so what are you doing here? And in this page, we literally see how this older guy, his mind is not all there.
Yeah.
He's skipping around and jumping. Like he ends up offering the kid cake.
Yeah.
Like before
why not?
Right? Random.
It's before midnight. You go into somebody's house, you get cake.
Yeah. Before
we'll
midnight.
Get back to that later.
Yeah, that's very important. And so like he starts doing like this reminiscing, asking for stuff, and the kid is, throwing out, supplemental details. Yeah. Oh yeah, I remember that, and this, that, and happened. And
he's disappointed there's no cake.
And you see, like it's kind of a weird dance here because the kid clearly was there for something that he's not supposed to be there for. And you get the impression that he's kind of biding his time.
Yeah, it was that. This was the first panel where I'm like, something really sketchy. Not just kind of sketchy, but something really sketchy is happening.
Because as they've had this conversation, Grandpa's offered him cake. Yeah. He's like, nah, I don't really want cake. I'm not hungry. And then all of a sudden, Grandpa has this relapse, and he goes, wait, is that you?
Yeah.
Philip? Like the name that he referred to before. And the kid kind of looks at him.
Doesn't respond. Pauses.
And then, very calculated, very sinister, says yes. And then the story gets dark.
Yeah.
Really dark. Grandpa suddenly has a realization of what's in this room. and what this kid might be doing, and he's asking him if he's looking for his necklace.
Yeah.
Presumably an item of high value.
Yeah.
I mean,
one would think.
Yeah, kid sneaking around at night to look for it, whatever. The kid says, well, yeah, I just wanted to see it again. Okay. Grandpa's like, look, you know you're not supposed to. He's like, I should take the belt to you. That's such an old-timey threat.
It really
this.
It really is.
I read that, I was like, oh, he is such an old man.
That's so adorable.
That's amazing. I ought to take a belt to you. It's like, and then what? He's like, no, that means whooping.
Yeah, it is a beating for those of you.
Yeah, for the record. So he convinces the grandfather to tell him the story about the necklace.
Yeah.
And the grandfather's like, no, no, no. And then another jump.
Yeah.
Where he's like, wait, is it dinner time? What's dinner? Yeah. What?
Yeah, mom's out picking up carry out.
Yeah.
She's on the way.
Come on, tell me the story. And master right
manipulating this poor old man.
And then we get introduced to a story that is probably one of the greatest.
I want to see a short film about
that. Yes.
Or like Sean and Ed do a comic about this.
Yeah, because this is like a full tale that really is but a simple backdrop to the rest of this.
Yeah.
What amazes me is like, all right, so before this, the old man jumps from conversation to conversation. Yeah, the clarity that he has of this, without question. Without question. And the origin... It's all an origin story of where he got this necklace, this very valuable, all these diamonds necklace.
And this is where he stops being, oh, the poor old man. Like, dude's gangster. Like, it's just
hella gangster. Him and his buddy were wrestlers.
Mm-hmm.
They went to Japan.
Yep.
And at the time, it's post-World War II, so the Japanese had very anti-American views.
Yeah, it says 1956, so you're like... 11 at the outside years out from
like cleanup is still happening at Nagasaki, like no two ways about it. And so they have like almost an illustrious career as wrestlers playing the heel against Japanese wrestlers, and everything is cool except his buddy Sal can't stand the way that people side-eye him.
Just nonstop. And apparently there's like one clerk at a jewelry store particularly that would just
glare.
I
don't like you.
And that has got him set off. And they come up with this plan to do a big robbery.
Yes.
And then bounce out of Japan, go to America,
and be done.
Yeah.
Right.
It's actually
it's such a simple plan. It's such a simple plan. Basically, like this store, if you were wealthy enough, he would give you a private showing of some jewels for you to buy, and would like literally come to you with a briefcase full of jewelry.
Yeah.
So the plan was to have him come to their hotel, and they had an Asian young lady that was going to help him. They were going to drug him. When he got drugged, one person was going to take the case, fly out, like immediately go to the airport. The other two would follow soon after.
Yeah.
Easy peasy, right?
No violence.
No.
Really well executed.
It's always,
And then there's the panel.
Something went wrong. I love the something went wrong.
Yeah.
He doesn't know exactly what it was.
Yeah.
Either the drugs didn't kick in, maybe the guy said something. Sal, after so long, was just like, you know what? I don't want to just rob you.
Yeah.
Beats the guy nearly to death with a gun.
Yeah.
Like he pistol whips him nearly to death. And takes off and leads the Tokyo police on a 3-day manhunt.
Yeah. And it's crazy. Like he ends up doing the time.
Yeah.
Where the old dude ends up taking the jewels back to America.
Yes. Now, what's great is you automatically think like, oh wow, he's making out like a fat cat.
Yeah.
And not that he's not, but there are dues to pay.
Yeah, he paid the Yakuza to get out of Japan,
right?
Because of the robbery. They paid
the mafia to get
came
into New York.
And then he still, like, unwritten rules of criminality, kept it and then split it with his buddy.
Right. Like knowing like, hey, I got to make sure that my guy is taken care of because, he could have ratted me out. I could have done that time too. and he kept his mouth shut.
Yeah.
And so dude gets to come home in 63.
Mm-hmm.
So from 56 to 63, dude has been in jail in Tokyo.
Yeah.
Presumably. Maybe they might have extradited him to the U.S. Maybe.
Maybe.
But either way, he didn't, rat him out or anything like that. Yeah. So dude he comes to get his half and moves to a farm in Louisiana and disappears. Like, this old man has not heard from him since then. Yeah. But
there's that one piece.
That that he didn't sell.
Yeah. Which is such a vanity.
It is. Because, this guy is clearly in the last, days of his life.
And pages.
Yeah, right? And telling. Yeah. And the notion of holding on to this diamond for what?
Yeah, there's no other than
just
sentiment.
Right. The history behind it, the story behind it, the whole nine.
God, I remember the blood shooting at that dude's eyes when Sal hit him with the gun.
Oh my God, so crazy. So while he's talking, he realizes that the kid is trying to make for the necklace. Mm-hmm. Like, literally, while he's talking, the kid is straight trying to grift it. Yeah. And he comes back, catches the kid, and goes for him.
Yeah. The kid wasn't prepared for the dude who was a professional wrestler.
He was a pro wrestler. How do you not be prepared for that? Oh, he's a big old guy. He can't move. That was his job. Like, literally what he did.
Beating people
internationally. Come on. He is choking this kid out, like strangling him. Mm-hmm. This kid ain't gonna make it. But the kid gets a lucky break, reaches over, finds an ashtray, and across the head.
And then keeps beating him while he's down.
That's the messed up part.
Yeah, like, you've done enough violence to get out.
Yeah.
You're now just...
He's just adding it on.
Yeah.
But again, speaking to the testimony of how tough this man is, he doesn't kill him.
Yeah. Dude is still alive.
I'm almost going to say he couldn't kill him. Like, he tried.
Because the forehead kick?
Dude, that was rough.
Yeah.
That was rough. The guy is like, not only like, he's still talking to him.
Yeah.
Like, it's slurred. It's definitely
he's
hurt.
Calling him bad words.
Yeah, he's calling bad words. Like, he's managing to get these things out after this kid has, like, monkey stomped his face.
Yeah.
Kid comes out the front door. His pal is waiting for him and is like, yo, what happened? Like, I heard voices. He's like, yeah, the old dude woke up. But it's all good. The guy's like, wait, you still got it? And he's like, yeah, the dude thought I was his grandson.
Oh, which is so... Like, somehow that makes it worse.
It does, because, like, there's a point where you're like, oh, my God, this kid just killed his grandfather.
Yeah.
You're a dirty kid.
Yeah.
But then you're like, no, he wasn't ever his grandkid.
He pretended to be.
Totally pretended. Just to... I'm like, what sort of confidence game is that? Yeah. Oh, my God. Yeah. Dark. So, I'm not sure if this is the next day, same day, what have you. But clearly this kid has a reputation. Mm-hmm. Like, he's known... spent a couple months in juvie, and they're going to go fence this necklace.
Yeah.
And I don't know, where is this? Is this Vegas? It looks Vegas-ish.
It feels very Vegas-y. I don't know.
Yeah.
I honestly don't remember.
I don't know. I have no idea. But it does feel very Vegas.
Yeah.
So, and I guess it does make sense for, if you had to pay the mob at that point, Vegas would be, they control Vegas. So there you go. What's crazy is they produced this necklace. Yeah. And the lady that works the pawn shop was like, are you out of your mind?
Yeah, because I don't know if she knows specifically, but she knows that's not the kind of necklace you get from somebody that you're supposed to be able to rob as a 14-year-old
kid. At all. And I think she actually does know exactly.
She might.
What it is, who it belongs to, because as these 14-year-old kids clearly knew the legend of this necklace, it is something that has gotten around.
Yeah.
Like, absolutely.
Yeah.
So what's crazy is she's like, why do you need this money?
Yeah.
Like, flat out, why do you need it? Like, you should give this back.
Yeah.
But tell me why you need it. And kind of shrugs.
Yeah.
A knowing glance. She's like, all right, how much do you need? And it's for bail money.
Yeah.
For the kid's dad.
Yeah.
And then we get, and that's what's crazy. Like, how many pages is this? This is like a solid 10, 12 pages until we're introduced to the main character.
Yeah.
We went through so much story within story, context, just to get introduced to the main guy.
Yeah. Brubaker and Phillips draw us, and Phillips draw us into this world so deep and so quickly, and it's so good.
It's brilliant. So Teague comes out, Teague Lawless, to find his son waiting for him at the bus stop, realizing that his kid bailed him out.
Yeah. And at first, he's impressed.
Right. He's like, "Whoa, you spent time in juvie and you figured this out? That's awesome."
Yeah.
Real quick though, where did you get the money to do this?
This is a good question.
It's a great question. He enjoyed a smoke for a second before he asked, but the reality is, here's a kid fresh out of juvie that should not have access to this kind of money. Yeah. And it was $5,000, which means that the bail itself was 50 because you had to put down 10%.
Yeah.
I don't know that outside of watching Law and Order. Okay.
Dun, dun.
Real talk, Dick Wolf. So the kid tells him.
Yeah. And the look on Teague's face is, well, you have to read the captions.
Yeah.
You
know.
And it does it.
5 days later.
Yeah.
Okay. We've got Teague going to a bar, clearly as a meetup.
Yeah.
What he is speaking to someone on is how to make this right.
Yeah.
He expresses that he beat the hell out of his son, broke his arm. Yeah. Bruised some ribs. Because clearly not, and this is kind of an interesting thing, honor amongst thieves, right? Clearly he was okay that his son took it, but not what he took and who he took it from.
Yeah.
Like if he just stole the money, it's one thing.
Yeah. Hit a liquor store, something like that.
That's okay.
Yeah.
I'm a criminal, you're a criminal, okay, fine.
Yeah.
But you broke a rule. And that's like, it's interesting. Like the notion of breaking the law, whatever, but breaking a rule, that has consequences. Yeah. And so he goes to this guy and who's like now, the king of things, and is like, look, no, there's no making this up per se. You can't just undo this.
Dude was my dad's friend.
Yeah.
Your son beat him.
Like he's in the hospital now. Here's what's going to happen. Yeah. Your kid is going to take the necklace back and return it, which means that they have possession of the necklace, like outright. The $5,000 that they got from the loan, the pawn shop, you got to pay that back.
Yeah.
And we're going to tax you an extra $20,000.
Yeah. Well, you Mac the monster. Like,
I mean,
you did it.
Yeah.
And the thing is, it's not an offer. Like, this isn't like you can choose to do this.
Or, because the other choice is our guys are going to basically beat your kid to death.
Your choice.
What you want to do.
Sounds like a good deal.
And to show you that I'm not a monster, I'll give you 2 weeks.
Yeah.
Now, because he could have said, like, by Friday.
Yeah.
Like sending a message,
Getting $25,000 in, 88?
Right.
2 weeks?
Right. Which, I mean, dude says, like, he hasn't seen that kind of money at one time since the 70s.
Yeah.
So.
It's been that long.
Yeah, he's scrambling. He waits a few days, which is funny because, like, I mean, I get it. The shock of everything that you're going through, you're just like, I just can't even deal just yet.
Yeah.
And what I also cracked me up is, like, he thought about, like, when he got home, he's like, I should hurt this kid again for what he just put me through.
Yeah.
But he's like, but then I'd have to pay for the hospital bills, and I don't want to do that.
Yeah, that just puts me even further behind.
Yeah, there's more work. So, no. So he gets to trying to figure out, like, where's a lead for a job?
Yeah.
Who can I call?
Calling his connections.
Right?
And
one of them, he finds out, his guy Arvin died, like, recently.
And he and Arvin were tight.
Right.
Like, real tight.
Like that was his Butch to his Sundance, Lots of jobs that they did together. Yeah. Routinely, they would get drunk and possibly fight each other and not even remember, but then find that funny.
Yeah.
I mean, I think we all have friends like that.
Like there has been that in my past.
Are you Teague?
No, I'm not that cool.
So you say. It's Teague in 88, dude.
Yeah.
I don't know what you was doing in 88. You said you was 13. I don't know. You could be lying. So what he finds out is that his buddy died like in a car, 5 in the morning.
Yeah, and it's that weird sort of thing, like it's shocking to him because Arvin was a criminal, like he would have died in a hail of gunfire,
right? In
a
jail,
bar fight,
maybe like something crazy.
But it was a heart attack.
Heart attack in the car.
Yeah,
like he was just sitting outside of a hardware store.
Yeah. Yeah,
that's weird.
That's not the way someone should go out.
Right, not like them. Like certainly not. So he decides that he's going to go to the funeral, and he drives to Arvin's house.
Yep.
And knocks, and it's the sweet lady Sharon. Sweet Sharon. Sharon is aware of the life.
Yes.
Absolute facts. She's clearly aware of Teague, and is like, oh my God, can't believe I'm seeing you right now. Even though circumstances being what they are, she's like, I can't believe you're here. So it's crazy. And this is where we get the details of everything. And he's like, first of all, when did he have like a heart condition? And she's like, I don't think he did. If he did, wife number 2 would have known that, not me. So you get the on and off again. Like, that's good storytelling, man. Like, you get a whole impression of their relationship in just a few pages. Crazy.
Yeah.
Arvin, clearly had been with her, then they had split up, and then he had married somebody else, and then that didn't work out, and she came back, whatever.
And everybody always thought they'd get back together.
Yeah, clearly. Like, it just was a thing. And she's like, no, actually, like, for even being in that house, it doesn't seem like she loved him the same way.
Yeah.
Like, maybe they were together because it was comfortable.
Yeah.
But not because either one of them truly wanted it.
Yeah.
And that's a dangerous, scary thing, but almost makes sense for the life that they live.
Right, yeah.
There are people that have to be able to just walk away at any given time and be okay with it.
Yeah.
And I think that's the thing. Like, she would have been okay with it. She would have understood. So yeah. Kind of detailing the fall of their relationship. And she's being brutal and honest. Which Teague is teasing, like, it's a good thing you're not giving a eulogy tomorrow. And she's like, oh my God.
Yeah.
I forgot what tomorrow is.
Yeah.
Like, just that quick. And is like, all right, I better go to bed.
Yeah.
And very succinctly, very friend-like. She's like, hey, are you staying over? And he's like, yeah. If you got a blanket for this couch, it's cool. Like,
yeah, I'll sleep down here.
Right. And then she says something that is,
I don't know if that's like an unwritten rule.
I'm telling you, man, these rules, man, they pop up and I don't even know. She's like, don't be an a-hole. And I was like, oh, you must have like a guest bedroom or something.
Yeah.
Like, clearly, it's a nice house, guest bedroom. Don't be a jerk. She's like, you showed up after midnight. Come on.
And then they do sex.
And I'm like, oh, that's a...
But it felt so wrong that he
goes to go sleep on the couch. And he even admits, like, it's not the first time that they've done it, and probably won't be their last either.
Yeah.
But circumstances being what they are, he didn't want to sleep in a dead man's bed.
Yeah.
Some form of scruples.
Yeah.
Cool. He wakes up to a note where she's like, look, I'm getting up early. I'll see you at the funeral. Don't steal nothing. Reasons.
Yes.
Absolute reasons. This is an interesting thing. The death of a criminal.
Mm-hmm.
The people that show up to the funeral of a criminal, the question is, are they there to mourn or to possibly make sure that the dude's actually gone? Like, these are the questions. And Teague definitely is full of that the whole time, because he's like, all these people, like, Arvin didn't like y'all.
Yeah.
Like, he hated y'all.
Yeah. What are you doing here?
Right. Like, you weren't his friends.
Yeah.
What is this? And everything is cool. It goes off fine. Everybody's at the bar afterwards telling stories. Remember the time he did the thing with the Cessna? It was crazy. And everything is cool until Teague overhears a particular detail.
Yeah. $100,000 when earlier he was told it was only 40 grand.
It was only 40 grand. Now, not for nothing.
Yeah.
But that is literally an 80-40 or 80-20 split.
Yeah.
That's messed up.
Yeah.
Like, especially being that, I mean, not saying Arvin didn't deserve more because he had to learn how to fly a plane in 2 weeks. But when you go to your partner and say, hey, we're going to get 40 grand for this and I'll split it 50-50 with you, when in fact you got 100 grand and you're only paying this guy 20.
That's whole different animal.
Horse of a different color. And so the guy that gave him the tip of it all is like, yeah, this is what happened. Yeah. Sorry. I felt no remorse from this man.
Yeah. None whatsoever.
Yeah. And in that moment, Teague felt a certain kind of way.
Yeah.
Decided to express it with his fists.
Yeah.
And
it doesn't go well for
him. No, it doesn't. I mean, he admits, like 10 years ago, it would have been a thing.
Yeah.
But
now
it's 10 years later, and these guys actually know how to fight.
Yeah.
Like, so, you don't get in this life being soft.
Yeah.
Like, that doesn't work. So they kick the crap out of him. And he makes it back, and I mean, I'm so proud of him for this.
Yeah.
That's terrible to say, but he makes it back to the graveyard, the cemetery, and he pees on his friend's grave.
Yeah, which is understandable.
Yeah.
And he tries to kick the stone over and move it, and he just can't. He just finally just kind of breaks down and smokes his 75th cigarette for this issue.
Yeah, with a swollen eye, can't even see out of it. And he's like going back, and he's just like, oh my God, I should have recognized. He always had a better house, the cars. He was skimming me on everything. Like, this is ridiculous. And then the jerk up and dies in a car at 5 a.m. outside of... Wait a minute.
Did Arvin have a plan?
What was going on here? Hold on.
Let's turn the page.
So this genius goes and sits outside of the hardware store that, roughly the same spot where Arvin was sitting.
Yeah.
It could have been a bad luck spot. Like, he don't even know.
Yeah.
But he goes. And he realizes that there's some day workers standing outside. And all of a sudden, a truck rolls up.
Yep.
2 armed guys in the back.
Mm-hmm.
And they start handing out a week's worth of pay to the day laborers.
In cash.
And he takes note, there's 100 guys.
Yeah.
100 guys, week's worth of cash for each one. That is what the French call some bank.
Mm-hmm.
Lots of it.
So that might be a way to get that $25K.
Super quick. And so here it is. Teague is like, oh my God, Arvin has saved me from beyond the grave here. And this should be easy. Like, not only should I get the $25K,
maybe get a little more,
a little extra, who knows? This is so easy. I'm going to laugh. And he's like already counting the money in his head.
Yeah.
With the most ominous thing. What in the world? Like, what sort of read ahead is that?
Yeah, because at first, I was thinking that the caption, like, things, like there must have been 100 workers in that line, like, was Teague's monologue.
Right.
And then that's when I read that one. I'm like, maybe things were finally starting to turn around. He thought. And I'm like, oh, wait.
This is third person.
Yeah.
Third person.
Oh my gosh, yeah.
In a few months, he would fall in love for the first time in his life. It was like, that's beautiful.
Yeah.
And by next summer, he'd be dead. His brain splattered across the wall. And I'm like,
there you go.
What? Hold on.
And, like, this is the world that we're in, and I want more very, very soon.
Right now.
It's so well done.
The brutality of the storytelling is everything. Criminal, number 1. Yes. High marks, man. Absolute great stuff.
Yes.
I can't wait. Like, I'm literally going to tweet those guys and be like, I didn't know. Thank you, because I didn't know.
Yeah.
And now that I do, I can't unknow this.
Yeah. It's so freaking good.
Yeah. Like, I'm going back to capture as much as I possibly can. Are those all arcs or?
Yeah, they're all story arcs, but all generally speaking independent of each other, except for volume 3, which I think is the. Yeah.
Okay. And is Lawless also featuring Teague? I mean, I would have guessed because Teague Lawless.
Yeah, Tracy. Oh, this is where we meet Tracy Lawless, the older son of Teague.
Oh, wow.
City. So.
Okay. Jeez.
Yeah, it's a family full of criminals.
So good. Definitely pick this up.
Yes.
This was amazing. As always, thank you guys for checking us out and being our Patreon members. Jeez. It's criminal if you don't read this.
The marketing does itself.
It does.
Yeah.
It does.